Hey everybody, I'm just filming a quick little follow-up to a run-through I did last year for this sweet little game called Avenue. So good, in fact, it's my #1 gateway game for 2016. And the interesting thing is, right now, this is on Kickstarter in a new form. There is a game, you can go hit the I in the top right corner screen or follow the show notes. It's called Kokoro. It takes the same basic gameplay that Jen and I absolutely loved here, but rethemes it and puts it in the Kodama universe. So it has a complete overhaul in terms of its look and its theme and its setting, but it's still the same wonderful gameplay that I demonstrated in the run-through last year, which you can also find by hitting the I or follow the show notes. In fact, if you go watch that original run-through, you can actually play the game along with me while we're playing. If you ever want to play a game with me and Jen, now's your chance. Go check out the original run-through. So anyway, the new, I guess you'd call it spin-off, Kokoro, the core gameplay is the same, but there are a few additions, so I figured I'd let you know what they are. First of all, the Avenue comes with the, the big old pad of paper that you use to write what paths you're making between the kingdoms. Kokoro, it actually comes with dry erase boards. So it has infinite replayability. You never have to worry about running out of paper in case the game becomes a real favorite around your household, which it may very well do, because again, it's a wonderful, wonderful game. So right off the bat, that's a big improvement. But there's a couple other things as well. One is, in Avenue, the board is always going to be exactly the same. All the, the wine you're trying to pick up and all the location of the cities and the two castles are in the same place. And you may recall in my final thoughts for the original Avenue, I said, man, it'd be great if there was like an alternate map. Now there is, because in Kokoro, you've got the base one that is basically the same layout, but if you flip the dry erase board on the other side, you've got a layout that does not have starting locations for the castles. Or they're actually the guardians now they're called. There's the spirit guard, I forget what they're called, but anyway, functionally they're the same thing. The castles are not fixed in the corners. Now, as part of setup, you roll a die, and the two castles could be in any number of places all around the board. And that means you get a very different feeling map every time you sit down to play. So it adds more replayability in that regard. But the coolest thing by far that Kokoro adds to the base Avenue gameplay are what are called decree cards. The game comes, I think, with about a dozen or maybe more. It's a deck of cards. You shuffle it up, and every time you start playing, you draw one card at random, and that adds an additional rule to the game. And the developers, they actually sent me a PDF with all the different cards. And Jen and I, we played a couple of games just using Avenue this morning, but with these new decree cards, and oh my gosh, it is so much fun. These things change the game up in really huge ways. They fix it so that blank spaces are actually potentially worth points, which changes the way. Or that you get more points if you travel on the outside instead of the inner. Or that you get more points for going for singles instead of multiples. Or that when you draw cards and you get a 1, it could if you get a 2, 2s could count as 1s or 2s. Or stuff like a specific space on the board that you can never ever go to. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Every one of these, you pick one of them when you start, and that really makes the game feel very, very different. So between the dry erase board instead of the pad of paper, and between the variable setup map, Kokoro adds so much to Avenue and makes it much. Again, the core gameplay is great. And if you already have Avenue, don't feel bad because you've got a wonderful game. But you might want to check out Kokoro. It's got a very different art style, really cool looking, but it has all these extra little bits. And again, if you want to check that out, hit the I or follow the show notes. And that's it, folks. Kokoro, an excellent update to an already excellent, wonderful game, Avenue. Thanks for watching. Have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.